Hey guys, so today I'm here with an overview of gaming on the iPod Touch 4th generation. So of course the iPod and the iPhone, as well as the iPad, but all of these are really great gaming devices. You know, they always have been ever since the App Store. But now of course with the iPod Touch 4th generation there are quite a few big improvements. So obviously there is the much higher resolution screen, so games look fantastic, much better than say maybe a PSP or DS screen. But in addition, there's also a few new things, such as the faster processor, which will allow for much better graphics, as well as there is now a gyroscope. So instead of just, maybe like just tilting it a little bit, you can actually go ahead and detect your movement in 3D space. So you can actually go ahead and little tiny movements are totally noticeable to the iPod Touch. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a couple of games that are prepared for the iPod Touch, that aren't, and everything in between, and kind of just give you guys a good feel of whether or not the iPod Touch 4th generation is a good gaming machine. To begin with, let's go ahead and take a look at one of my favorite games on the iPhone and iPod Touch, which is Real Racing. So Real Racing is fully prepared for the iPhone as well as the iPod Touch, with support for the Retina Display as well as the Gyroscope for steering controls. So it should give you a really good feel for what a racing game looks like, and this is pretty much the best you can get. It's fantastic. Let's go ahead and just jump into a quick race here. Go ahead and just pick a random track. And just go ahead and pick a random car. Let me just go ahead and show you guys a little bit about what the controls are and how it works. So I'm not so sure how well you can see this through the camera, but the graphics are really quite good, especially for an iPhone. I would definitely say close to PS2 graphics. I'd say it's right up there with the PSP. So go ahead and just jump right into the race. And you'll see here the accelerometer controls are very, very nice. Well, I guess it's just the motion controls in general. So let's go ahead and just show you. So as you can see here, I'm using the thing where if I touch anywhere on the right side, see I let off, this is the gas, and if I hit this, this is the brake. And all I gotta do is just tilt the iPod left and right to steer. And so it's pretty simple, and this is one of the games where touch controls just work. A lot of games on the iPhone and iPod Touch kind of have touch controls tacked on. So for example, a lot of first-person shooters, like, the thumbsticks don't seem to work very well. But in Real Racing, it really does work, and there are also different things where it actually can automatically accelerate for you as well as automatically brake, depending on how much trouble you have or whatever. Personally, I think it's about perfect. So here, I'm playing pretty decent. I'm actually looking through my camera. So see here, the accelerometer control is very, very nice and precise. So the next game I'll be showing you is AirCoaster Pro. This is another one of those really cool games, and it works very, very well. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you. It is a roller coaster game, so we can go ahead and pinch to zoom and all that kind of stuff. Let's go ahead and just jump right into the car. So, and you see here, let's go ahead and just start the match. It's not start the match, but start the game. And you can see here it is very, very smooth. You can actually take a look at the frames per second down there. It runs at a very nice clip. And you can see here, especially with the Retina Display, it honestly is very, very entertaining. And you can actually go ahead and I've watched this roller coaster. I've run on these roller coasters for a very long time on my previous iPod. This is always a really fun app. You want to go to a theme park or something, you can always go ahead and just pull your iPod or iPhone out of your pocket. But as you can see here, it runs very, very, very smooth. Whereas on the iPod Touch 2nd generation, it does run just a little bit choppy. So again, it gives you a really good indicator. The graphics are so great on the iPod Touch 4th generation as well as the iPhone 4. They are pretty much the same as far as graphics are concerned. The next game I'll be showing you is eBoy FixPix. Now this game is fantastic. I really, really love it. It's well, I'm not even going to try to explain it. Let me just go ahead and get it. So basically it does use the accelerometer. So let's go ahead and just get in here. And this is one of the most unique. Look at this. This is, and it really does work. See, this just kind of gives you an idea of what the motion controls do. Let's go ahead and just put this together here. Basically the objective is to put the puzzles together using the accelerometer. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and just go through a couple of these just to kind of show you. The 3D, actually, I know obviously the iPod Touch and iPhone don't have a 3D screen like the Nintendo 3DS does, but you can just take a look at that. That's a really nice 3D effect with these awesome pixel graphics. So again, another game that looks really quite nice on the iPhone and iPod Touch, especially on the iPod Touch 4th generation with it got such a nice looking screen. All the artwork really pops off. The colors were really, really vibrant. And like I was saying, the iPod Touch 4th generation, in fact, I don't think I can get this one, but the iPod Touch 4th generation definitely does have such a high resolution screen. It's much, much higher. Even though it's not quite as big, say, the PSP screen, the resolution and the quality and colors, all that kind of stuff are very, very, very high. And plus, come on, you can't find a PSP game with something like this. That's just too cool. So to sum up, guys, I really like the iPod Touch as a gaming platform. Now, of course, that's not the only thing it does. You know, it has the internet, email, video, apps, all that kind of stuff. But strictly as a gaming device, I don't think it's a bad idea at all. Now, it is a little bit more expensive than a DS or a PSP. Well, at least it's more expensive than the standard PSP. However, I do think you get a lot more. You get the touchscreen, and not only is it a touchscreen, but the screen looks so vibrant. It's so much higher resolution than, say, a PSP screen or even the DS. It's much higher resolution. Looks fantastic. You get two cameras rather. So there's so much more you do get with the iPod Touch. It's got motion controls, it's got touchscreens, so you do get a lot of different styles of gaming. In addition, the games tend to be much cheaper. So let's say, you know, maybe there's the big new game out for the iPod Touch, maybe like it's usually around $10, a lot of times less, but for one of these big budget games such as, Madden or something like that, it's going to cost you usually around $10 to buy. Whereas, that same release on maybe the DS or the PSP would probably be $30, $35, even $40. So really, you do get a lot of value. Now, I will say that some of the apps in the App Store aren't that great. There are a lot of kind of games that just aren't fantastic. But really, if you can go ahead and weed through the good one, weed through the bad ones rather, to get to the good ones, you'll definitely won't be disappointed. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. If you're thinking about getting an iPod Touch 4th generation for gaming, I highly recommend to do so. There are lots and lots of good games. Some, like I said, some aren't that great, such as first-person shooters don't tend to work that well. But games that are really designed for the iPod, that really utilize the motion controls and the touchscreen well, just do fantastic. So guys, just really, I recommend, if you're thinking about it, definitely go take the plunge. It's a fantastic gaming console. There's a lot of really cool things in it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching.